Name it,
Like
girl.
a penis.
Oh my. What do you mean by trans women, by the way? Tell me that. What's the definition of it?
People. It's a person.
Right. And who are those people?
It's a person. Whoever
Biologic-
they want to be. Whoever the fuck they want to be.
Basic questions on trans women versus biological women. They compete in sports. Trans women may actually turn out to be a threat to women's rights. A trans woman raped 2 biological women and impregnated them, both of them in women's prison. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited.
That's fucking crazy right here. Trans women versus biological women. In sports, we generally have men's sports and women's sports. And these two are the most popular gender sports available worldwide. But why am I talking about it? Is because I've never heard of trans men winning against males in men's sports, but I have heard a lot about trans women not just winning, but also destroying previous set world records by biological women in women's sports. Mind blowing. Or it isn't. If you're curious just like me, let's find out. Cheers. Trans women to compete against biological women in sports. What's your thoughts on it?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm down for you transitioning, everything like that. But if you're just doing it, going into sports, it's a whole different ball field.
What do you think about it?
I think so too. And I don't think that's like a homophobic thing to say either.
Right, and not transphobic either.
No. That's what I, yeah.
Tell me if you disagree with this statement. I am okay for trans women to be in this society and be part of it as an equal individual. But in sports, it's very highly competitive. There cannot be an equality over there.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if that means changing like the systems that we have people in sports, whether it's more than just like man, woman, and like trans people or whatever you want to call it.
As I said, there is a reason for men's sports and women's sports to exist in the first place.
Yeah.
I guess that is what the feminists were fighting for.
Yes. I feel like, okay, yes, men and women can be equal, but again, there is differences in body structure and everything like that. So
After puberty, it's just difference. It's like I'm growing more from bone density, from muscle density. And then even there is a research done by Daily Wire. They say that there are 6,500 genetic differences between male and female after puberty. How can a person be equal in sports after these differences?
Yeah, there's not really a way, especially if you think of like MMA or like any kind of like physical contact.
yeah.
The way if you've grown as a man or been socially normalized as a man your whole life, you're gonna operate differently when you play football compared to like a woman who's grown up to be like soft and gentle and kind. You know, there's a lot of cultural, not cultural, but like there's different. It's different societal differences. Yeah.
So I actually want to talk to you guys about this story which I came across. It's a very, very sad story, to be honest. So the story was a trans woman raped 2 biological women and impregnated them, both of them in women's prison.
Oh wow.
And in prison, women cannot do anything because they're just prisoners. So now the men who have bad mindset, they're becoming trans women and entering female prison and then impregnating them.
I wouldn't say that's like
I don't know if that's a motivator.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
like,
motivator
being
to be like transitioning
Correct.
all the way to a woman, but
Correct.
I'm sure there's one in a few, but
it is very sad.
I wouldn't say it's like everybody's doing that.
No,
I agree to that. But this one story is even not worth it. Hundreds and millions of females out there, because the feminists fight for some rights over here.
I think I'm still down anyone who wants to transition, but obviously in like exceptional situations like prison or sports, there should be more guidelines set.
Instead of delusion, we should focus on reality, I believe.
Yeah, I mean you can say that about anything though.
I wouldn't call transitioning delusion. Yeah. I think it makes sense in certain situations.
Let me put it this way, baby. I would have something very strong views about certain people, but I'm still respecting of people living in society. They have their own rights and freedom to live in.
I would agree with that.
Why?
If you go back to just biology and like general, like just the male like body is just gonna outperform like physical than women. That's just like, it's not like trying to diss them or anything. That's just like how it is. Like that's just facts. So like if you took any like average male, for example, and they switched genders, went into women's sports, they would probably go very excel. Like for example, there's the one swimmer we all know of that was like 165th ranked in males, went over to, or like switched his gender, became a woman, went into the women's swimming and was the first in the world.
It's like she just broke all the women world records in terms of biological women, what they made. It's all just set back now because of the trans women.
Exactly, and like again, like it's nothing against like transgender people
Correct.
whatsoever. Like
Correct.
if you absolutely can live your life the way
Correct.
you want it, but like you can only like get like there's so much give and take, you know, like
Exactly.
it gets to a point where it's just like unfair. Like it's just not fair.
Because I don't think so. It's easy to become a champion. It's
No, you
easy to
have
become
to
an
have-
athlete, but not
Yeah.
a champion.
No, like you can have natural abilities, but you also need to work so hard to make your way up to the top. And when it comes to like the difference between female and men, as much as we want equality, like genetically there is a difference between the both of us. And like girls are just better at certain things and men are just better at others. But like if some girls are definitely better than men, other men in certain situations, but it's
Right.
all like, I don't know, you know?
So do you think should trans women be a part of women's sports?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you think that is the reason? Because it wasn't there before. So why now?
Why not?
Don't you think they're different?
They are, but like we're all different.
So do you think that a man and a woman has same physical attributes?
No, but like just let people do what they want at the end of the day.
Of course, by letting people do what they want in life is good. But I feel in sports it's very different.
If the men are scared that like trans people or like the women are scared, it's like then maybe they should just step up their game.
Step up the game by how though? That's the point. So I say you and me are different. I'm a male biologically. You're a female
But
biological.
if we both are training at a
Okay.
like the same sport,
Yeah.
like I could be better than you.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, it just depends.
Because I feel that there are certain things which cannot be changed. Let's say before puberty.
Are you here arguing with people about trans stuff?
No, I'm just talking about it. Just trying to know the opinions. Yeah.
You're debating it.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
there's nothing to debate. Trans people are here. No
I
matter
mean-
what you
That's what I'm
win
saying.
in this conversation.
Right.
So good luck with your little video.
No problem, man. Have a good one. So it's basically about 100%. I totally agree. I'm agreeing with that. But I'm talking about in sports. Because it basically, okay, you want to be a part of it?
90% of the trans
Would you like to be a part of
don't
it?
even win. They come in third place and people are still mad for something.
I appreciate your opinion. Would you be liking a part of it? Would you like to be on screen?
That's what I have to say.
But you don't want to be a part of it? Okay, no problem. That's fine. So it's basically like what I'm trying to say is the women, the feminists I'm talking about, who actually fought for rights in the past, they're also going from 100% to square one by making it even for both.
Like I'm just saying, if I was like training for, let's say, like any Olympic or whatever,
Right.
and there's a like trans woman
Right.
competing against, I wouldn't feel scared.
Why not? Because he's a male from biologically. Of course, he's a woman in society, which I also respect. No problem.
You
I
gotta
have
be
no
confident
problem.
with yourself and your own skills and abilities and your talents.
Okay, so by me making this point is not for myself, by the way. By me making this point is for women's. It's like they need to be on that equal spectrum in terms of sports. Because what is sports? It's competition, right?
Like at the end of the day, sports, it's like it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a game. It's like people take it
Right.
a little bit too seriously.
Do you think, have you been in athleticism before?
No.
Have you been a part of sport?
No,
Okay, so
I understand the whole
Right.
like thing about it though. People get like all worked up, but like yeah, it's a,
do you think to win a championship is easy?
no.
So then why
I
people
would
win
not.
it? Why would somebody win it?
They have it in their heart.
Right.
It's a talent. It's
Right.
what they want to do.
So imagine this now. A female who's born a female is trying to compete in women's sports, right? That is the reason we have men's sports and women's sports.
But what if you didn't know they were trans?
No, that's absolutely right. That's the point. It should be equal, isn't it? So my point by saying is that if a female is born,
You shouldn't even have to like say if you were like born as whatever gender.
okay, I guess there is a little bit of misunderstanding over here. But what do you mean by trans women, by the way? Tell me that. What's the definition of it?
People. It's a person.
Right. And who are those people?
It's a person. Whoever
Biologic-
they want to be. Whoever the fuck they want to be.
Okay, correct. But
Can I just say something so fast?
Okay, yeah, please film.
I've actually competed against trans individuals in sports before, and
Right.
I did not feel disadvantaged at all as a biological woman
you okay? So
because
what?
I still beat them.
Okay, what
So it's
level? What level are you talking about? Is it national, world class? What level are you talking
like club competitive.
about? Exactly. So that's just basically in your school or college? I'm
No, like
assuming
a club, like city club.
in London.
Yes.
So in overall London, you competed with a trans woman,
Mhm.
and you did not feel that you lacked in any abilities.
No, I did not.
Cool. What if you try and go for national championship in Canada? So now people are competing, not just at same level as you are,
Yeah.
but they are competing at world class levels.
I don't think that really makes a difference. because the women competing at lower levels and the trans people at that level are at a certain skill level.
Right.
Once you raise it to national, the difference it's not there. They're both better than they would be at a club level.
So, since you have competed in a sports, right? Do you think in sport there is a reason why they have dropped down and they have canceled using chemicals in body? Do you agree? Let's say testosterone, steroids. This is
It's
banned
not
in sport.
testosterone. It's like drugs that enhance your ability to compete.
Correct. So drugs are basically banned in sports. You're aware
Yeah,
of that, right?
but like if a trans man or a trans woman is
Yeah.
taking estrogen, that's
Yeah.
not going to give them a biological advantage over a woman who's also naturally having those estrogens.
So let's assume this for a second. Be with me on this point, okay? The trans woman that you're competing is at the very same level as you are in terms
Yes.
of abilities of, let's say, performance and all of those kind of
Yeah.
stuff, okay? But so now the difference is in terms of biology is that males after puberty they increase their bone size, they increase their muscle size.
I don't think the bone size thing is real, by the way. That's like not real. If you look into it, like there's a
I have,
very,
that's why I'm
very,
telling you
very
that.
small difference between the skeleton of a man and a woman to the point where
So you
geologists
agree-
have had difficulty differentiating between women and men.
So you agree there is a difference?
Not
But there is a
not to
difference.
the level that it would make a difference in sport. Bone mass is such a small,
You just said there is a
small
difference. You just said there is a difference, right?
Yeah, but not to the level that it would ever affect someone's ability to compete. There's also a difference in bone size between me and a woman who's bigger than me.
Correct.
And I wouldn't get mad if a woman bigger than me was competing.
But at least she's a biological woman.
But that doesn't bother me as someone who's actually a woman and has competed against trans women. It really does not bother me at all.
So why do you think that female in swimming is actually asking for women's rights in women's sport?
what do you mean?
So are you aware of the situation in
Oh,
swimming?
I think that's just someone who already has an existing bias against trans individuals. Because there's many athletes who have spoken out against
no
this.
problem. No problem. I respect it. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's fucking crazy right here. Nice to meet you, Kate. How old is he, by the way?
11.
11 years? And he has been 11 years till the time he was born with you?
No, I've had him for the last 4.
Do you have to train it or something, or?
No, just handle them every day and they get pretty friendly.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Take care. Take care. Trans women versus biological women to compete in sports.
Oh,
Okay, I agree with that. Like,
Mhm.
if you are born with the abilities of a
Mhm.
man,
Mhm.
you shouldn't technically be performing in a woman's sport.
well,
Because it's not fair to the other participants, the other contestants.
well, for example, it's like that guy that was like top 400 in swimming and then was leading the women's division in swimming.
It's like
And there's no consequence for that because they can't discriminate against anybody or else
Exactly.
yeah.
It's just biology, though.
Mm.
Like, it's not being, like, I am totally fine with people transforming. Yeah,
correct.
do what you want to do, but it's just not fair for the other people, right?
Correct.
And you want to give everybody a fair chance.
People train their whole lives for stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
But you can't.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
exactly.
I believe that we are completely fine for them to live in society, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, for sure.
the trans women who are calling themselves trans women are men inside,
Right.
and then the
They have the
feminists,
abilities of a man.
the feminists who fought for women's rights in the first place,
Right. And
are
then
going to
they'll-
take a step back again. So
Yeah.
what were the women fighting for in the past?
I know.
Agreed.
But well, now they have all the rights they wanted, but
Right.
now they're making like a mockery of themselves almost. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think that there is no differences between men and women in terms of physicality? I can
No.
understand brains and mindset could be very similar. but do you-
Physicality, I think there's a difference. I think that.
Can you name
there
some?
is- I would say men, like, obviously women are capable of anything men can do. No, not
I
even
mean,
that
stronger is a
Do you know
fair
what
word,
yeah.
but because the reason
It's
is
hard to find the right word.
correct. Stronger is the right word because let's say before puberty, females and males can be similar.
Right.
Sure.
Because-
everybody, yeah.
Exactly, we all are kids, but after puberty, there is a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And that all goes back to like evolution, right?
Exactly.
So you go all the way back, and men would have, like, male species would have to fight each other to win over a
Battle.
female species, right?
Battle.
So
Right.
that's where it started, and that's just evolution. Like that's just like Darwinism, right?
I agree. Women should be classified as women and in their own sport, just women, and men should be in their own sport as just men. There's many many different physical attributes to men and women that make it very unfair to compete against a male and a female. So I do believe that they should be completely separate.
Can you name some differences, biological differences between a male and a female, especially in terms of competitive sport?
Strength. Strength would be like the number one, right? Like a lot of men are a lot stronger than women, just naturally. And that's just the way it is. A lot of people, say for example, will excel more at a certain sport than the other would, right? So like men do better at a certain sport than women would. So how can we just classify them all as one? We can't. We can't.
I feel like the feminists who are fighting for women's rights are gonna take a step back because now male are already entering in your space,
right?
Which is women's space,
right?
Given to women's rights,
right? So they're interrupting in between that. Like
I
we
agree.
should have the right as just women, right?
And what would you like to tell the people who actually disagree to this, that yes, trans women should compete against women?
It makes no sense. There is no way that you can compare a male born as a male and a female born as a female and put them in the exact same sport and classify them as the same gender. It's not fair. You can't.
Hi guys, today I'm here with...
That's a nice truck. Maddie.
It is a fucking nice truck, she said.
It's Maddie. Yeah.
All right, she's Maddie. All right, so Maddie, we're asking basic questions on streets, okay?
Okay.
And we're trying to know that we are okay with trans women and women living in the society,
Yep.
but trans women versus biological women is not okay in sports.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Why?
Because they shouldn't be allowed.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
What do you think? What do you think is the main reason of not allowing a trans woman in sport?
because they're stronger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
That's a good one.
she just said it. All right. All right. What I get? All right. Are you transphobic, girl?
Yeah.
She is. Okay, no problem. So, if I someday identify as a woman, would you accept me as a woman?
I guess.
Okay, but
Like, if I had to.
then can I fight against women's sports and
No.
women? Why? Because I'm a woman. Why aren't you letting me fight against in sports? Am I not competitive?
Because you have different.
Like
things
what?
than-
Name it,
like
girl.
a penis.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not biologically female.
That's a very valid point, by the way, because I believe that there is a transition going on between women and men, but at the same time,
Believe as much as you want that you're a woman, and I will
Right.
support that you want to be a woman. And if you have a penis and you believe that you're a woman, I will fully support that. And that's not something that is ridiculous. This has existed for thousands of years in India, in other parts of South Asia and Africa. Transgender people have existed for thousands of years. It's not a surprise. But you are not a woman. A woman is somebody that's born with a vagina and a uterus and ovaries, and they are born with their grandchildren inside of their eggs before
Exactly.
they even reproduce. That's just the truth. So if you don't like that, you can be upset about that, but that's unfortunately biologically the truth.
trans women may actually turn out to be a threat to women's rights.
I think that trans women are more of a threat to women's rights than trans males are a threat to male rights, because the male audacity and the misogynism and all of the things that come through from the male side, it continues to come through with transsexual men. They are continuing to push misogynistic ideas. They're continuing to disgusting narratives about chest feeding and being a birth person rather than being a mother, rather than being a breastfeeder, or whatever the case is. And I apologize, I'm a little bit lit, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little drunk, so I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. But realistically, a woman is a woman, and you cannot change that. And we are not seeing trans men trying to say we need to change the word for ejaculation, or change the word for erection, or change the word for whatever other male word. It's only women. So what does that really say? That just shows that misogyny continues throughout transsexuality and throughout transitioning. It doesn't matter if you're trans, if you are a straight heterosexual male, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we as a society put women at a lower value, and that shows. Because why is it that it's only women that have to change and modify? It's not men, because men don't give a fuck. Let's be so serious.
Clearly.
If you tell men that's not a boner anymore, this is called whatever the hell that you want to call it.
A swingle dingle, who knows?
Yeah, men are gonna look at you and be like, shut the hell up. Like nobody cares about what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
But as women, we are forced to listen, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I am somebody that gives birth to a human being. I am not a birthing person. I'm not a bleeding person. I'm not a menstruating person. I'm a human being. I'm a woman, and that's just what it is.
All right. So
100%.
one piece of advice you would like to share with the viewers who are watching us today.
I would like to share that women are women and we're completely separate from men. So keep it that way.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Ashley. I hope you have a very good
Nice
night.
to meet you.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
Thank you. Have a
Bye,
good
you
one.
guys.
Operate out of kindness. Always, always, always. Because it'll come back to you, and you never know what someone else is like. You never know what kind of day someone else is having.
Just like karma.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Start, like, respect to me includes kindness. Maybe I'm too fruity for everything.
You are.
but-
You are, girl. You are, girl. You are. Thank you. Appreciate your time, Fruity
You
Girl.
too.
You have a very
Thanks
good
so
evening.
much.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good one. Take care. Before I let you go, one piece of advice you would like to share with the viewers.
Don't do it.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. You guys have a good one.
This is Phase Music.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what you get for bugging.
Thank you very much.